Gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah and the faith of Mashiach. Whoa, yeah. I gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah and the faith of the Mashiach. Hey, whoa.
Shalom, Zion. So we've been seeing some really exciting events taking place, and I'm talking about some really exciting events. Things that are like you see prophecy fulfilling right before our very eyes. And it's like this whole thing is coming alive. The Most High is bringing all this alive in real time. And I'm telling you, saints, I'm excited. And I've never been so excited because everything that the Most High Yah said is coming to pass. So I'm going to call this lesson, well, it's going to be more like a talk, but we're going to call it The Current Day Needs Rising Just Like the Word the Most High said they would. So got some very exciting things to share with you, go over it, and I really want you to see the viewpoint that I want to bring out to you because it's going to make a lot of sense when you look at it from the scriptures, and you're going to see clearly what I'm talking about, Zion. But as you all know, the tensions between the U.S. and Iran have been really rising, and I mean, it's getting bad. And I'm not saying it's going to pop off within the next week or month or year or so, but however, we better be ready, Zion, because things can pop off at any moment. And all these countries are at edge with one another. And the Most High said that would happen. Nation shall rise against nation. And you have all these nations who are taking sides, taking allies and everything. So when you think about Iran has a lot of history. Now, for those of you who have not been tracking the whole situation with Iran and Israel, well, Iran has been wanting to bomb and nuke Israel for over 20 years now, probably longer than that. And I'm going to tell you something. The Most High just may allow them to have their chance. But some things are going to happen before that takes place. And as you see, and we're going to go to Isaiah 13, and we're going to pretty much be in Isaiah 13 for the whole time, okay? Because I want to show you something very significant. Something so significant that, and I'm pretty sure you read over before, but I'm pretty sure you haven't seen it quite like this. All right? So tensions are rising very high between the U.S. and Iran. Now, recently, I think a couple of days ago, Trump ordered a strike because there was a drone that was shot that the Iranians shot down. So the U.S. claimed that it was in international territory, but that's a lie. Of course, they're going to make up something in the media. So Trump orders a strike, and then all of a sudden, 10 minutes into the strike, he pulls back. Well, why is that? Now, let me tell you something, Zion. Don't let the news media fool you, because America have been enslaving, bombing, and killing people ever since they became a nation. So you really think that the lives of 198 people was going to really matter? See, there's something else to this story. Because, see, Iran has really grown, and they've gained a lot of allies, Russia and China being a few. Now, had Saddam Hussein, or some people pronounce his name Saddam, had he would have did the same thing as Iran by attaining allies, he would have still been here. But see, Saddam's mistake was that he wanted to be a lone wolf, and so he wanted to be a rogue, his own country. So he didn't have any allies. So it was easy for the rest of the nations to invade Iraq and take their oil. But see, they can't do that with Iran because Iran has gained not only power, but they gained a lot of allies. And that's one of the reasons why, we're going to talk about more, the reason why Trump pulled back. And see, I called his bluff. I knew he was going to do that. Trump is a big noise talker. There's an old saying, the loudest person in the room is always the weakest person in the room. Now I want you to get what I'm saying, because Trump talks a lot of noise, and I want you to understand something, Zion. The powers that be, Trump, he has to make Americans think that we are the number one nation. He has to make them think that we still control everything, and for the most part, we still do. But however, people don't realize that these other countries like Iran, China, Russia, they have just as much powerful weapons as we do, if not less, more. They have more technology, more advanced in certain areas than we are. So, don't let these people fool you in thinking that these countries are still third world countries and they don't have anything. That's all a lie. And so all these things are coming to a head. The Most High is bringing all the pieces together, and I see it so clearly, Zion. It's just a matter of time before things really hit the fan. And you see, these wicked nations, they do not want to go to war. When I tell you, Zion, they do not want to go to war. They are scared because they know that if they go full-blown war, they're going to lose their kingdom. This is it. It's going to be it. Think about it. I want you to think about something. Our weapons have become so advanced that if we were to go into a full-fledged war, we would destroy this world 100 times over. And I'm just giving you a perspective to really think about. Now, this ain't like it's back in the 30s where, we send ground troops in, and with the AKs and the 249s and M16s. Now, we're talking about weapons that can just wipe out whole countries. All right? So you got to just picture and get the big picture of what can happen. And I see this thing breaking forth. So much destruction. And the Most High has not even released the 4 horsemen yet. And when that releases, we're talking about, Zion, we're talking about over half the population, over 4-point-something billion people are going to die. This thing is no joke, and it's just a matter of time. Now, I'm not predicting any times. I don't know when all this is going to take place, but I can tell you one thing: all the pieces are coming together for this great day of the Most High. We're going to read about this. And the reason why I know that Isaiah 13 is talking about the future, because there's some things that have not happened yet. And whenever it talks about the day of Yahuwah, Zion, that has not happened yet, because when the day of Yahuwah comes, that's it. That's it for these nations. It's over. It's a wrap. So I'm going to tell you straight up, if you're looking to get something from this world, you can hang it up, because this world is finished. It's done. There's nothing that you can, if you're a true believer of the Most High, there's nothing in this world that you can attain. Unfortunately, that's it's finished. It's the end. And I can't give you any kind of feel-good story about that. There's no other way I can break that down to you. It is what it is, Zion. This world, as we know it, is getting ready to come to an abrupt end. And the nations and the Most High are gathering the nations for battle. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. And I don't know about you, but I feel it. I see it. I see all the red flags, the flashing warning signals. I see all of it. And this thing has been flashing for a long time now. It's well overdue, way overdue. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take to the word. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and let's start with verse 3. And it says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. Well, who are his sanctified ones? We are his chosen one. Deuteronomy 7:6. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. Now, we see a lot of things going on, Zion, but what we're seeing right now across the world, all this destruction and what have you, that is nothing. We have not seen anything yet. You just wait you keep your eyes open, you stay prayed up, and keep your head in that word, you're gonna see so many great things that's gonna happen. I mean, it's literally gonna blow the weaves out your hair. Now that's if you're wearing a weave, okay? Now that goes for the brothers too, because y'all know y'all be getting the man weaves. All right, let's look at verse 4. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. What are we seeing right now? I mean, we're seeing wars and rumors of wars. I mean, this thing is getting ready to ramp up. And it says, Yahuwah Sevaoth musters the host of the battle. So these nations are not in control of anything. It is the Most High who's bringing all this together because, see, they don't want to go to war, Zion. I'm telling you, they are scared because they don't want to lose this kingdom. They love this kingdom. And you think they're ready to bow down to us? Think again. They would not even do it on their backs, but the Most High is going to force their hands because the Most High says that he is going to make the nations bow down at our feet, whether they like it or not. And that's what's going to happen. So the Most High is the one who's forcing this. The Most High is the one who's bringing all these nations together. And it is the Most High who is going to get the credit. See, that's why man can't do this, Zion. We have no power to do anything like this. All we can do is just sit back, enjoy the ride, and allow the Most High to do his work. Not only do his work, but do his work in us. And don't get in the way of the Most High. Stay out of his way. All right, let's look at verse 5. It says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahuwah, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Now, Zion, I'm a very photographic kind of person. I like to visualize things. Now, when it says weapons of his indignation, you got to understand what power that's talking about. That's a power that we can't even fathom. Now, we're not talking about like the elements, like the destruction from the wind and the fire and all that kind of stuff. We're talking about some technology here, Zion, that is so advanced that it would blow our minds. This is what the Most High is bringing, and he's doing it all for his people. And that's why it pays, Zion, to serve the Most High with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind and strength. Why do you think I do the things I do? And like I said, that's why I don't get into all this, money grabbing and stuff like a lot of Hebrews do, because it's not about that, Zion. Freely receive, freely give. If your heart is not into it, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing videos. You shouldn't be doing lessons, period. If you're doing it for money, you should not be doing it. Because the Most High gave us his word for free to the saints. It is not to be used and turned around and repackaged and sold to the saints. That is wicked. And I'm going to keep on saying that. Okay, let's go to verse 6. It says, howl ye, for the day of Yahuwah is at hand. Let me read that again. It says, howl ye, for the day of Yahuwah is at hand. Zion, this has not happened yet. So you cannot read Isaiah 13 and say that this already took place. No, this is getting ready to take place, because when the day of Yahuwah comes, let me tell you something, the whole world is going to know it. Now, I did a lesson a while back ago, and I was reading in Jasher, and right before the flood, the Most High shook the whole earth, like literally shook the whole earth. I believe it's going to be something similar to that before the day of Yahuwah. It says, howl ye, for the day of Yahuwah is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from El Shaddai, a destruction. We're talking about a destruction on a serious, massive level, Zion. No, I'm not talking about no simple little earthquake. We're talking about some serious, mad destruction. Let's look at verse 7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Now that's some serious fear. Normally when you see storms, you get out the way, you try to take shelter and things like that. But this is going to be some serious destruction that it's going to melt the hearts of the wicked. They're going to look at this thing and they're going to be like, whoa, what is this? This ain't natural. This ain't some average everyday thing that you see. And the Most High is trying to prepare his people to get ready for this. And how do we get ready for it? How do we prepare for it? Well, we constantly build that relationship up with the Most High. We stay in that word. We stay prayed up. And we practice the righteous acts, which is his laws, commandments, and statutes. That's how we do it, Zion. Giving up self. We got to learn how to sacrifice for the Most High. Because a lot of times we always want something for nothing. We want something, we want to take something, and we think that we're owed something all the time. And that's what's wrong with our people right now. That's why we ain't gone nowhere, because we're not willing to sacrifice for our own brothers and sisters. We need to get it together, Zion, and stop all this foolishness. All right, so let's jump back into the word. Let's jump down to verse 8. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travails. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. We're talking about some serious stuff here. And the agony, especially the wicked, are going to have to go through for what they've done to the Most High's people. It's going to be surreal, Zion. And we're the generation that's going to see it happen. Verse 9. Behold, the day, here it is again, the day of Yahuwah comes, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger. We've never been alive to see this happening. We've never seen an event like this since the flood. We can only read about things like this. It says, behold, the day of Yahuwah comes, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. Well, how's the land going to be laid desolate? The only thing that can do that is nuclear war, or maybe an eruption from a volcano, one of those big super volcanoes or something like that. But we're getting ready to find out, Zion, for sure. But you may be asking, where do we fit in all this? Well, don't worry, because like it says in Ezekiel, the Most High is going to gather his people from the four corners of the earth, those who are sealed. Okay, so the Most High is going to gather those up, and we're going to be protected while all this stuff is going on. And it says, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Let's look at verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. Now, we can do guesswork to figure out how this is going to happen, but whatever the Most High is going to use, know this: the sun shall be darkened, and the moon will cause her light will not cause her light to shine. Now, I've heard some people say that it could be Nibiru, it could be a blast from a super volcano, or it could be the Most High himself just blocking out the sun and the moon. Like I said, we are about to find out how that's going to happen, Zion. I'm telling you, we are living in exciting times. But we do know for sure that the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give her light. And that has not happened yet. Because when that happens, the whole world is going to know it. Because think about it. It said the moon and the sun. Because see, at nighttime, when it's nighttime here, it's daytime somewhere else. So you can't really see that. But when the sun is blocked out all over the world and the moon, you got the moon on one side of the earth, and then you got the sun on the other side that's shining. So both of them are going to disappear. You see that? And that's something I just now caught on to that. Wow. And that's why it's going to be worldwide. Verse 11, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Wow, that's going. And see, what have these heathens have been doing to the Most High's people? I did a lesson on their kingdom must fall first. In order for us to rise as a people of Zion, their kingdom is going to have to fall. Even Hamashiach said himself, this kingdom, I am not of this kingdom. And we can't take part of this kingdom if we expect to be part of the kingdom of Hamashiach, Zion. That's why all these celebrities and these musicians and world famous, black folks, I'm talking about our people, have sold their souls to the devil, because they want to take part in this kingdom. You can't. The only way you can take part in this kingdom, Zion, you have to sell your soul to the devil. That's the only way you're going to take part in this kingdom. You got a lot of our people who love this world way too much. And, they want that so-called piece of the American dream. Ain't no such thing as the American dream. Yeah, we are the American dream. They made the money and they became the dream off the backs of slaves, off the backs of descendants of Hebrew slaves. We can't be part of this kingdom. This kingdom is wicked. It's getting ready to crumble. It's getting ready to fall. And I'm going to smile the day that it does. All right, let's look at verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, let's look at verse 13. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahuwah. It's of oath, and in the day of his fierce anger. There it is again. And all through the scriptures, when it talks about this, it's talking about the last days, Zion. It's talking about his fearsome wrath. We have not witnessed that yet. And when we see that, we're all going to be afraid because it's going to be so powerful. Something that we've never seen or witnessed since the beginning of time, before the flood. And, we weren't alive for that. We can only read about that. Verse 14, and it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man takes up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. Something is getting ready to happen here, Zion. And the Bible is talking in similitudes. And the Most High is giving us warning signs. And we see these warning signs all over the world taking place. But it seems like no one is paying attention. A lot of our people who are caught up in Christianity, and they sitting up in these churches and clapping their hands, stomping their feet and rolling on the ground and thinking they got the Holy Ghost when they truly got the spirit of Satan in them. So deceived. And something like this, they're past. See, you're not going to hear this in the Christian churches. You're not going to hear what the true Hebrews, the true messengers of the Most High, you're not going to hear nothing like this in those Christian churches. Never. Let's look at verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. I'm telling you, the day of Yahuwah, his fearsome wrath, Zion, this is all leading up to it. And man, I don't know what other way to put it to you. It's coming, and no one can stop it. And no matter how much money they spend and what they try to do to hide our identity, the gig is up. The cat is out of the bag. Been out of the bag. Their time is up, Zion. They know it. And they know it. That's why you see the hatred against our people. It's increasing tenfold, and we're going to continue to see it even more. Some people think because we're living in 2019, what have you, this is not supposed to be happening. Y'all better wake up, Zion. We're going to see more things happening to our people. We're going to see more incidents happening. And the only reason why we know they're happening is because people are taking out their phones now. But this stuff has been happening, Zion, ever since, even in the 60s, way before that, this stuff has been happening. We just didn't have the technology to record all that stuff. So let's look at verse 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Y'all hear that? Oh, that's so mean. Our God wouldn't kill kids. How could he do something like that? Zion, y'all better wake the hell up. Now remember when the Most High told Saul to kill those nations, suckling and old. What did Saul do? He spared. And guess what? Those same people, thousands of years later, came back to enslave us. See, there's a reason the Most High does what he does, Zion. See, our forefathers screwed us over because they never looked to the future. They always lived for the moment. And we still do that today as a people. We live for the moment, Zion. We don't think about our children, our children's children, and our forefathers did not think about us when they committed these acts. And now look where we are. All right, let's look at verse 17. No, I'm sorry, let me finish reading that. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their women ravished. Now, here's the part that I want to get to and bring it to this current day and what's going on right now. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." Now, I want y'all to read the history of modern day Iran, because that's what the Medes are. You can do your research. The current day Medes are the Iranians, or that area where they are right now. Those are the Medes. And you look what's happening in the news, and you go back 30 years ago when Iran was coming up with their nuclear deals and what have you. These people are fulfilling prophecy. The Most High is raising the Medes up, and that's why you see these tensions rising up against America with Iran and the U.S. And this is exciting to me, Zion. This is some really exciting news because we're seeing prophecy being fulfilled right before our eyes. Everything is coming to pass. And this verse right here is talking about this very moment, Zion. And this is right before the day of the Most High. Man, this is so exciting to see this thing. And the Most High's fierce anger is just revving up. It's just revving and revving, and it's building. It's like we're living in a pressure pot, and this thing is getting ready to explode like we've never seen it before. It's getting ready to explode, Zion. So, it wouldn't hurt, and I'm not saying that you should stockpile for like 60 years and all that stuff, but Zion, it won't hurt to put away a little something. Have you some batteries, whatever. Wouldn't hurt to have a generator, a small one. I know that we're financially disenfranchised. I realize that. Sometimes we can only do what we can do, So we just do what we can do, put away some beans and some rice and, for your families and things like that. Because when things start to kind of break, Zion, the one thing you want to do is shelter in place. You do not want to be out there when things break amongst the heathens, because they scared. Heathens are scared of everything, and they will panic like you've never seen before, and you don't want to be caught up in that. So if something were to go out, like a blackout or something like that, or I don't know, whatever takes place, that's going to cause mass confusion. I'll put it that way. You want to shelter in place, and I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time, Zion. It wouldn't hurt to have a little cash stored away somewhere in a locked box in your house, because when this economy crashes and things go haywire, people are gonna want to use their cards and stuff. People are not gonna have cash, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen that way, Zion. But we should always be prepared, Zion. Faith without works is dead. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and like I said, you don't got to be stockpiling like you're going to be living in the bunker for the next 10 or 30 years or something like that. But, we must be wise, and we must be wise as a serpent, and wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, and prepare what's happening. It wouldn't hurt to practice fasting, Zion, to the Most High. And you do that between you and the Most High, because there's going to be some times, Zion, we're going to have to go without food. So if we start training our bodies to go without food and start preparing ourselves, we can be somewhat maybe ready for what's coming. But the main thing is just staying in that word, Zion, and keeping these laws, commandments, and statutes. And that's how we're truly going to be ready for when this whole thing breaks. And see, the reason why Trump decided to pull back from that strike like he said he would, talking all that noise, Iran made a terrible mistake. They're going to pay. He pulled out not because he was concerned about killing 198 people, because he was concerned because he knew that he can't just bully Iran, the current day Medes, the ones that the Most High has been rising all this time to fulfill. But don't worry, the Medes are going to get destroyed too and everything, because the Most High is going to be the final one who's going to take them all out. And we're living in some exciting times, Zion. Verse 21, but the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and the owl shall dwell there, and the satyr shall dance there. Animals going to be dancing in empty houses and stuff. I mean, that's crazy. And this is going to look like a scene from out of, you ever saw that movie, The Book of Eli, when he was walking and everything was just, I mean, it was just bare nothing. Everything was destroyed. All the residue of the equipment was just left from the destruction of whatever happened and everything. And that's the way it's going to look. And read the last 2 books of 2nd Ezra. It describes it just like that. It talks about 10 shall be left in the city. And, you know, it's something out of a horror movie, Zion. I mean, it's crazy. All right, let's look at verse 22. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses. So that means it's going to be everywhere, Zion. So we read that they're going to be in desolate houses. So we're talking about all over the world. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses. All this is taking place while the Most High's people are gathered up in a safe place. And dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Wow. So Zion. Now, some things are gonna happen before all this takes place, but it's like everything is happening simultaneously, though. Everything is happening all together. Remember, the Bible says her plagues shall come in 1 hour. And so, you know, with the soon releasing of the 4 horsemen, with the falling of the rest of the trumpets, the seal, and the vials. I mean, that can happen so fast, like just like that, Zion. You turn your head and then it's all coming all at one time, and it's going to be so overwhelming. You know, and that's why we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared mentally, spiritually, in the Most High, and physically as well, because we got to take care of our health, Zion. We got to take care of our health, our bodies, because we are the temple of the Most High. We can't just be putting anything in our bodies. You know, we got to take care of these bodies that the Most High has given us. So just remember what we talked about, Zion. I pray that you were edified, because this thing is breaking and the Medes are rising just like the Bible said it would, Zion. We're seeing it right now. And I'm excited just to see what's going to happen in the next few months, years, what have you. And when the Most High decides to say it is finished, it's going to be finished, Zion. And we can get up on out of here. Because I know we're all sick or tired of being sick or tired, Zion. But we just got to hang on a little while longer. We got to be patient a little while longer. We got to persevere a little while longer. Yeah, we may have to put up with a few more wicked heathen holidays, and you know, but Zion, it's going to be well worth it. And one day, we're not going to have to worry about all these pagan holidays and these religions, and we're not going to have to worry about the influences of the heathens, because their kingdom is getting ready to fall. So I say shalom and stay strong.
I'm here to encourage you, brothers and sisters, trying to paint to you a better picture. Everything I say, I back it up with the scriptures to get you out the matrix. It's been over 400 years of lies. You gotta open up your eyes, 'cause there's so many reasons we in captivity. You gotta flee from the heathens. There is hope in our future, even though they trying to do us in. But we live to fight another day. Vengeance is Yah. We'll be praying for Yahuwah. Gotta thank Yahuwah for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Whoa. Here are they to keep the commandments of Yah, and the faith of Mashiach. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. I gotta thank Yahuwah for being the chosen seed of Israel. beat of the machine. Yo, whoa, hey, hey, whoa, whoa. Do, do, da, da, da. Do, be, do, be, do, be, do, da, da. Do, be, do, 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 da, da. Do, 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 da, do. Be, do, da, do, 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 da, 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 da. Do, be, do, be, do, 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 do.